guys, LP Cubers here. Today I'm going to show you how to solve the 4x4. So the 4x4 is similar to a 3x3. Today I'm going to show you the reduction method where you kind of solve middle pieces, like if I just were to scribble all but this middle piece. So this is a middle piece, and then you would solve the edge pieces like this, which is an edge piece, and in a 4x4, this right here is an edge piece, but when you in the reduction method, you turn it into two edge pieces and pair them up. So let's give this a good scramble. So as you can see, this is scrambled like a 3x3, but you can see middle pieces and edge pieces are still paired together. So I'm going to scramble it like a 4x4 now. Okay, this looks pretty scrambled. There's not much you can do to solve this just by looking at it. So let's start the solving method. So the first step is to grab some middle pieces. So pair up the middle pieces. So you can easily pair up the first middle piece. I'm going to do the orange. So I can just do that by putting middle pieces in here like that. And just like that. So now I have the orange middle piece. And everyone knows that orange is opposite from red. So this will be the red middle piece. So when you're working on the second middle piece, you're going to want to do this simple method where you bring it up like this, turn the top layer, and then bring it down. Basically that will kind of pair up some down here, and keep doing that. So let's say this piece needs to go up here like that, and then you can turn the top layer and bring that down, and that adds another piece to the red side. So you can keep doing that. Looks like we have a middle piece right here. So we can bring it up, put it across, and bring it down. And then we have the red and orange sides, or middle pieces, solved. So now we can work on any other piece, like let's work on green, because we already have the green pieces here solved mostly, and we can just bring those bars. Oh, and look, we have a blue bar too, so we can make that line up, and then we can do the green thing. So you bring up the slot, put the greens in, and then bring the slot down, and that will get the greens. So orange, green, and red. Now we can get the blue, because green is opposite from blue. So we have the blue bar right here, so bring up a slot, do this, and looks like we already have a bar here. So we can just turn this and then bring the slot down. And now we have the blue side solved already. Now you're going to want to go grab a cube to make sure you have the color scheme right before you do the last two. So let me just go grab a cube really quick. Okay, so here I have an Ivy cube, which has the same color scheme as most cubes, like the 4x4 here. So you're going to want to line it up. So I have red here, turn it green, so this is white, orange on the top, and then this is yellow. So we can start by doing yellow because we already have a line here. And so let's look for two pieces over here so we can bring in the slot, add one piece, and then we can turn them so that they'll line up next time, and we can bring it across and put in this bar, so like just like that. And now we have all the middle pieces solved. So the next step is to do edge pieces. So I was lucky and I got an edge piece correct already. Now, for edge pieces, you're going to need to learn an algorithm. It's a very simple algorithm, but it needs to be memorized because it's very important when you're solving the 4x4. So what you're going to want to do to pair up an edge piece is you're going to want to put two pieces like this across from each other on the top, and if you want two on the bottom, but I used two on the top, and they're going to be the same edge piece, and they're going to want the same orange. So let's say I have orange blue and orange and blue right here. So you can, right here I have them like this, but they're not across from each other, so they need to be like this. So I can just hide this orange piece, bring this piece across, and unhide this piece. And now we have these two orange pieces right next to each other. And we were lucky and we got these two white and orange pieces next to each other below. So now you're going to want to do this algorithm. So you're going to want to do this move and then do this algorithm. So R, F prime, U, R prime, F, and then do a 2U2. And so now you have this edge piece, and this edge piece solved. So we have this one, and this one. And now we can keep working on it. So it looks like we have red and white here, and red and white here, but they're not across from each other. So we can just hide this piece, bring this across, and put this back. And then we have them next to each other. So now we can do the algorithm. And that will bring these two pieces together. So we can keep doing that. So let's find green and white. There's another green and white piece right here. We can bring these across from each other. And they don't have to be on the top, they can also be on the bottom. But in this case I have two on the top and two on the bottom too. So I can do the algorithm. And now we have those two solved. And then we have this, which already came. We have red and green, and we just got lucky, so we can do the algorithm. And then we have this edge piece solved. So now we have one more algorithm, or a few more algorithms. Let's do this green and yellow one. So we have green and yellow here, and we have green and yellow here. But they're not across from each other, and they aren't oriented correctly. So we can just move this one over here. So green and yellow, and then bring it up like that. And now we have two green and yellows across from each other. So we can do the algorithm. And then we can do another one. So here I have blue and yellow, and blue and yellow. So we can make them so they have an angle across from each other, and then put them actually across from each other. And they don't have to be lining up with the middle piece, they just have to be across from each other, and they have to be the same piece. So now we can do the algorithm. And now we can find another one. So we have yellow and red right here, yellow and red, yellow and red. Do the algorithm, just like this. And now we have this edge piece solved. And now we can look for a few more. So we have green and orange here, and green and orange here. So we can bring these together like this. So now we have an angle. And then we can hide this piece, bring this across, and then we have these two next to each other or across from each other. So now we can do the algorithm just like this. And then we have all of the edge pieces solved. So now you can start solving it like 3 by 3. So I'm going to do the cross. So now we have the cross solved. We have the red cross, and all the middle pieces line up with their corresponding edge pieces. So now I'm going to use the beginner's method, and I'm going to solve the first layer. So let's insert these corner pieces like this. And if you don't know how to solve a 3 by 3 already, you can go to my tutorial on 3 by 3. It's pretty old, but it works. I'll probably make a new one sometime soon. So we can, now we're done with this layer, we can work on F2L. So, or in this case on a 4 by 4 it'd be F3L because you have 3 layers on the bottom, but on a 3 by 3 it'd just be F2L. So insert this piece, we line it up, put it away from where it needs to go, to the left yog, turn to the left, right yog, and that should be pretty straightforward, just if you watched my tutorial on the beginner's method. So we can put this piece in here, just by doing this, and then we have one right there already, and then this one is already away from where it needs to go. and there we go. So now we have F3L or F2L solved. So now you may get something weird, where when you want to solve the cross on the top, you get something that looks like this, which is an impossible case in 3x3, where a 3x3 edge piece is flipped. And this is a parity. Some of them are really easy, some of them are harder, but you do a parity. When you get a parity, usually it's on the last layer, and you're going to want to solve it then, because then it's easier to solve later. So this is one of the cases where you have an edge flipped, and what you're going to want to do is this algorithm. So do RR, and then a U2, RR prime, U2, RR, U2, RR, U2, and then LL prime, U2, and then you're going to do an RR, U2, RR, or RR prime, U2, and then do a cube rotation like this, and then do a U2, and then do an RR2. And then you should have the cross done. And that algorithm is the longest parity, but once you memorize it, it's not that hard. It took me a little bit to memorize it, not too long, but yeah. So now you're going to do the corner permutation algorithm, that just the algorithms, the righty alg 3 times, lefty alg 3 times, and looks like I just need to switch these two. And one little trick you can do is turn the top layer until you have at least 2 that are solved. And if you don't have 2 that are solved, you just have 4 that need to switch. So like in this case, I have these 2 need to switch right here, and then these 2 need to switch. Then you can do the same thing as if you had an angle for getting the cross on the top. So you put these 2 that need to switch and these 2 that need to switch. You do it like this, so you turn these layers. And then instead of doing the righty alg once, you're going to do it 3 times. And that will actually switch all of them, and they're all in the right spots now. So now I just need to flip them, and so I can do the algorithm. So just like this, righty alg, and now that piece is inserted. Turn the bottom layer. And now we can do the righty alg backwards, because we need to flip that the other way. So righty alg backwards, and there we go. Now that piece is good. Do the righty alg forwards, in the bottom layer, and then do the righty alg backwards. And now you have solved the 4x4. Okay, so sometimes you can get a case where you have 2 edge pieces switched, like what I have here. And so what you can do is you can just do this simple algorithm, which is really easy, just like the one I'm about to show you, which is just the same algorithm in a different way. And basically it's just going to be a lowercase r2, u2, lowercase r2, and then a uu2, and then a lowercase r2, and then a lowercase u2, and then you solve that case. Now there's one more case that is different, and it's where you have 2 edge pieces switched in a different way. So basically it looks something like this, where you have 2 edge pieces switched like this, and you're just going to do the same algorithm on either side of it. Actually, in any orientation it will work, so just do that algorithm. So lowercase r2, u2, lowercase r2, u2, lowercase r2, and then u like this. And then you can just do the edge permutation algorithm. So like this for the 3x3, and then it will be solved. So that's every parity case on the 4x4 and how to solve the 4x4. And it's pretty simple, just memorize the algorithms and you're good. So thanks for watching. Make sure to like and subscribe and share this video, and I will see you later. Bye!